Welcome in once again, guys. We're here to feed that Yu-Gi-Oh cardboard addiction, guys. You guys already know Saki made it back to the channel. Some way, somehow. It's been too long, Saki. We need your expertise with cards like these. Literally, Medius the Pure. Saki was like, Jay, we need to talk about this card. You know, I'm actually talk about it on my channel as well, because I have some insights as to why the price of this card is going up. We have Medius the Pure. Again, the ultra rare from Duelist Advanced. Card was like $3. We said anything below 5s was good. Saki probably did that himself as well, because it was easy money. Now you come here, all-time highs in price, parabolic, Saki, all the way to almost $15, man. 24 listings here, about 5x from the lows. You have the Wall of China here. Saki, we need your expertise. What's going on with this card? Why is it making these huge moves? Take it over.
So at a first glance, people see this as the card to have for Art Mage, a deck that people have compared to Branded in terms of creativity and the lore that Konami wants to try, as well as a lot of people want to play this archetype. However, that is actually not the full case. The reason why this card is actually going up is because people have now incorporated a way to make a card called Adrius, which is a synchro I actually recommended, but I actually recommended it for a completely different reason. What they're doing with this is they're using Medius to make a free Armades, and guys, once I say this, I'm going to stop talking. It's a Light Fiend. We all know what Light Fiend means in the year of 2025, right? I told people to get these at $3 actually for hat format, because this was one of the other level 5s that was really good, because they can't, I believe they can't activate card effects like Mirror Force and any battle traps, and battle traps were still a thing with hats, as well as other effects as well.
That's correct.
This is a level 5 that you actually had access to. I said this was way too crazy for, literally recommended this at $2.
Wow.
$2 for your first 10-year mail. What do we see it right now at, Jay?
Yeah, right now, 15 bones, man. Look at that, 5 listings only.
You see my ass there, too.
Saki's about to eat. He's about to eat because the game is too easy. Saki's up 10x. Why? Because it's too easy. He was making the call on his channel. That's why you need to go subscribe right now. Where's Saki? Right there. Link in the description down below. First link right there. Go sub right now, because Saki is making moves, making plays, talking about Armades at $2 to $3, and now he's eating good, and you would have been eating good too. $15 for this card. And Saki, you made a great point, not just about hat and about the modern implications of Medius, but the fact that this card only has 3 prints ever. It came out 11 years ago, Saki. So what are we gonna do with this? Crazy.
We're gonna see it rise to something absolutely crazy.
Wow.
That's what we're gonna see, and people are gonna be paying big money for one of the ugliest gold rares, which is premium gold. That is not an opinion, that is fact. This shit looks way worse in person. It is just upsetting.
But what do you mean? I love the block of cheese, and this is my favorite rarity, Saki. What do you look? Volume is coming in, so 20 Billy Bobs are buying it at shekels. So what are you talking about? Look, $3. Wouldn't you pay the 5x down in price to get and you know, a copy of the card with the same effect? No.
Oh, absolutely. For you using it, that's fine. But if I see it, it would be like, wow, I'm so glad I have something in premium gold. I'm definitely gonna look at you. Guys, remember, there are stupid questions and there are stupid answers. Okay, you got lied to in school. All right. I'm just playing. Obviously, people are getting the premium gold because they just want to play the card. I'm not an elitist like that, guys. Don't worry.
No,
but,
right. Yeah, that's a great point. Like Saki said, you know, if you need access to the card, $3 is better than 15s in a way. But, you know, if you want to pay a premium to play the max rarity, even the 10 version here, it got cleaned out. Honestly, these are not bad at 5s plus shipping, you know, because then they hit double digits. And Saki made a great point, not just on Armades, but also on Medius the Pure, and the fundamental reason behind why this card is $15. It feels like I was just talking about this card the other day. Insane. And then it also has the Art Mage angle. You have a couple people trying out Art Mages in Genesis format. We're going to get into Genesis format a bit later in the market watch, so let us know what you guys think. Yeah, secrets what? Oh, yeah, you mean Medius? Yeah. Let's check actually all rarities. That's a great point by Saki. You know, they're all going up. Wow, look at that, Saki, getting cleaned out into oblivion. Wow, what do you think about the secret and the the Starlight Rare right here?
So I told people to get the secrets when they started going towards 15. I said, guys, you need to grab this card. It'll go back up to 30s, and it did. It really did. It hit 30s to 40.
Wow.
Mine were selling like hotcakes. It was free money. The Starlight, this was as low as 67, 68. I said it's better to go towards the yep, and there's me right there. My fault. Not really, but I told people when they're 68, I think you're going to make a lot more bank off the secrets at 15 because you're buying about 4 secrets for a little bit less, like 4.5 for the price of 1 Starlight. Like a lot of people, they can't afford Starlights. They don't want to pay 120 times 3 because, again, people want it matching, right? So they're not paying $300 to $400 for a matching set of Medius, in my opinion. However, the secrets going up to that 35, 40. Now you're making a lot more money because you're basically making a 2-ish X.
Great points.
And it's easier to get rid of. You guys have to remember, to make the profit, you got to get rid of the card. If you have a $10 card, it goes up to 50.
Wow.
Did you make 40? Sure, but if you didn't sell it, you didn't make 40, right?
Wow.
If it goes down to 15, you're like, oh, I got the call right. Yeah, but you didn't make profit.
Just such great points about the liquidity factor, how easy it is to get rid of the card once it goes up in price. Usually the max rarity like these, people choose to always go most likely towards the more budget options. So amazing points that Saki made, as always, even with the higher rarities. Media's play right here. And you can see the listings, man. Saki is a man, you know, of his word. He puts his money where his mouth is, and he's gonna eat good. He made the call, he made the play. That's why you want to make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on the next move. And then we have Marshmallow Yummy. Saki, Doom of Dimensions just came out. This is the freshest off the presses. Don't listen to that phrase. I don't know what's going on with me. You get it. There you go. It just came out. Just came out. It just came out. It just came out. Look at that. What do you think about Marshmallow Yummy? Everyone needs this card. Everyone's playing Yummy Pure, Yummy Mitsu, Yummy this, Yummy that. Doom of Dimensions is the latest and greatest core set. So the card is 60 bones. When the card was like 45s, I think down here, I said it could go down to 40s. It never did, honestly. It just V-shaped recovered off the lows. It is what it is. The card is 60 bones. You're gonna have to pay about close to 190s, 200s for play sets of this. 46 listings. You see a couple of walls here. You think this price is healthy? You know, does it deserve it? What do you think about Yummy overall? We're gonna talk about Yummy later on as well, but what do you think about the card?
I think it's very healthy to have at this price. You know, Doom of Dimensions, this is the chase card. We've seen what happens with sets without chase cards. They plummet, and Doom of Dimensions has at least recovered to being a $50-ish box.
Yes.
Which is great. But I think for Marshmallow Yummy, it's the best I can do. Is it going to hold 60s? Absolutely. I think the Starlight rares are going to go crazy as well, because you got to remember, max rarity Yummy, excluding Marshmallow, isn't that bad. Remember, the Starlight Yummies, they're like 30 to 40 bucks. They're not that bad. But your Marshmallows, $211.
Wow. Wow.
When the rest of the deck is so easy at max rarity, and then you're missing one card, and you look at this, it feels bad. Yeah,
no, that makes sense. That a lot of people, all the money that they would have put into the rest of their meta relevant, you know, deck core, they're gonna be like, this is the hottest card. This is the one I need to place it of. I love the artwork. They're gonna come in. They're gonna spend them bills, as you can see. Even the Starlight rare is bumping up in price to a new all-time high. Crazy, just spiking up. You know, it's going crazy. And then you do have the secret rares at 60s. So wow, just very, very impressive moves for a card that is extremely high in demand. And like Saki said, it is the chase card of Doom of Dimensions, and we will get into Doom of Dimensions in just a bit, but definitely wanted to highlight this card from it first. So guys, link in the description down below. Come over here if you want to buy, purchase, or fast track any of these cards. Make sure you do so right here. We do have a giveaway of this Rescue Rabbit over there on X. Make sure you follow these instructions. The link in the description down below. The link tree right here, Discord, X, $15 off over there and whatnot. Don't miss out. And we do have a new fresh course right here if you want to learn about market watching, a 1-hour course for free. Nothing much went into that, in the sense that, you know, it's not nothing too big or too crazy, but it's free to help you guys learn. So make sure you guys take advantage of that. And guys, the man himself, we've already picked his brain for close to 10 minutes. You need to subscribe. First link in the description down below right there. You want to come over here and subscribe. Look at that, a 2K view video right fresh off the press, covering the OTS pack reveals, just the channel, you know, always making plays, making moves, making calls like Medius and Rarity. You need to subscribe right now, not right now. Link in the description down below, non-negotiable. Saki, what do you think about your own channel? What do you think about the new OTS pack? Why should people subscribe?
So honestly, if you guys want to be ahead of the market, not buy your cards out at everybody else's time where it's accelerated, you want to get in the know for once, come check out this channel. Guys, I am a vendor first. You know, I buy a lot of cards. I see the trends, right? It's one of my jobs. So I take that information, and not only do I put my money where my mouth is, I literally give it to you guys all for free. I don't care. I want you guys to get ahead. I love my subscribers. And when people say, Saki, I made X amount of money on your channel, Saki, I got these cards before. It's not always about making money. It's about being ahead of the meta so that you can play this game cheaper. Because this game's expensive, right?
Good point.
And I really don't like that. Like, nobody should have to be paying $30 for the Fiendsmith target of the month, right? You know, I don't like that, right? But it's going to happen regardless. You could either be ahead of it or you can't, or you won't be. So come, subscribe, check out the channel, hit that like button. Guys, I do, as you can see right there, it's like 3 market watches a week, sometimes 4. And then I got the news videos, right? And I want to make my market watches a little longer. From what I've been told from some people, and Jay is Saki, you keep doing 20 minutes to 30. We like it, but why not 40?
Yeah, I mean,
because I talk fast.
They're addicted. They're addicted. You know, if they're already, you know, again, you're already here watching us right now. You already watch me. You go watch Saki. You know, you may get even longer market watches covering cards that I don't cover, like the high end, you know, and things of that nature. That's why I love Saki's channel. So you definitely want to make sure that you're subscribed right here. Don't miss out, boys. Don't miss out. Subscribe to the channel right now. Make sure you subscribe to your boy. Ring that bell. Like the video on the way in. Would gladly appreciate it. None of this content is official financial advice, is for entertainment purposes only. Now we have the Chronicles deck, the Fallen and the Virtuous, the all foil edition. What are your thoughts on this, Saki? What are your thoughts? What do you think about this structure deck? The fact that it's all foil, that is around the branded deck, you know, core, the new cards, I think 1 or 2 cards coming in, and it's coming pretty fast actually, in like 2 weeks, $20 per box, like just the reprints, ultra rares. What do you think about it? What do you think about the anime? Just everything around this product. Let's hear your thoughts.
So I think it's really cool that they're doing it. It's all foil, so people are going to like that. However, the one thing that I think people are not talking about is that with this $20 structure deck, we all know that it's going to be one of the hottest structure decks of the year. Probably even the last 2 to 3 years. So now that Konami sees this and they're like, wait, we charge $20 and it sold even better than our, let's say $12 to $15, because structure decks already went up, right? Sometimes they're like 12, 13, 14. The number's a little fluctuating. They're going to probably start doing these $20 ones from now on, as well as hopefully they at least make them all foil. I think that players who want to spend a couple extra dollars to get all foil is really nice, but that the bar of entry to the game, you know, it starts with structure decks. It is getting a little higher, so do keep that in mind for the future. But besides that concern, I have nothing but praise for this so far. It's great for lore. They're doing more with it animation-wise, which is really cool. I actually really like that because, you know, the lore is very interesting now. I like seeing it. And again, branded's very popular. People love the artwork. I don't play branded, but I don't like playing against them. I like seeing them play, though, if that makes sense.
Same here.
And it looks great.
Same
here.
Yeah,
no, like, all the cards designs look awesome.
Same here.
Right?
I agree. I'm with Saki on everything he said. Like, it's, you enjoy seeing the cards, the art, the rarities, you know, how the deck works, as long as you're not facing it. So I definitely agree with that. But Saki made great points. And look, I think you can also get, you know, the secret rare and or starlight rare here, just like the structure deck, the blue eye structure deck. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty interesting right there. So yeah, look at that right there. A small chance of being a starlight instead of a secret. So there's going to be a lot of people excited for this product. And again, the markets are actually reflecting that as well. So as we can see, before we actually get to some of the branded cards themselves, we see branded Draco Tail at YCS Anaheim, which again, we're going to touch base towards the latter part of this market watch. We're just touching base on the branded one because we're talking and speaking of branded here. So top 16 is very impressive, you know, out of almost like 1,500 players, if I'm not mistaken, around there. Top 16 is very, very impressive with Draco Tail branded right here. So, you know, just very briefly, what are your thoughts on Draco Tail with branded, the new branded structures coming out? Do you think more players are going to be playing different branded versions here? And actually getting this top, was it more about the pilot, or what do you think about this deck overall?
Well, it definitely has to be pilot based, because Draco, not just Draco Tail, but specifically branded, does take skill. You gotta know what you're doing. Granted, with a smaller package like this, that's the seal, not just the ceiling, but the floor was probably a lot lower, right? Maybe it was more standard-esque. Again, I don't play this deck, so I don't know.
Right.
And by this deck, I mean, I've never played Draco branded. I've played branded and I've tried Draco Tail before. But I think that it's the pilot, but it's also a good meta call, right? It gives the deck more as well. You know, you burn through all your Draco Tail. Now you have branded, right? You've also got the hand traps here. I think it's very interesting to see the hand trap lined up a little bit. I really like it because a lot of players are playing like Imperm, like, you know, double Fuwas with Fuwalos and Prulia. I like seeing the 3 Ghost Bell a lot here, as well as the Nibs, because I think Nib is very good this format, and a lot of people are underestimating it, but that's just me.
Yeah, I mean, great takes. The deck has seen play. A lot of people love the deck. A lot of people are excited for that new branded structure deck. So we just wanted to touch base on this deck here. And again, Draco Tail, I mean, it really is not making crazy moves. I think the CRs at 24, you know, are not that bad. You have the Ultras here coming down to 13s. You know, Rahu here, I think it got the OT, right? Or was it Ketu? It was Ketu, my bad. Ketu's getting the OT. So yeah, some people might actually be coming in to pick up Rahu here just to play the max rarity. And yeah, so not too many crazy moves, honestly. You know, Draco Tail, it's essentially affordable if you go for the lower end stuff. And even some of the CRs are not nothing too crazy. So there's not really too much to touch base on these. But again, we have Despian Luluwalilith. This card, it went bonkers. It went bonkers due to the branded hype. It was $3. No one cared about it. And then you wake up one day and it says 17s. The card here is $25. You see? You see? Saki, hey, talking about this card at $3. Look at that, Saki. Look at that. Look at that. 9 listings only. The card is 25 bones. After a couple of 1s and 2-ups, it goes to 30s, then 35s, then a 40-piece wings from Wingstop.
Fucking dinner.
Tell him, man. Well, hey, let's hear it. What do you think about this card? Hey, let's hear it, man. Let's hear it.
They always doubt, dude. At this point, bro, I think the haters just hate how right I am. They're like, okay, he's got to fall off.
There we go. Point. There we go.
But do I? Very rare. Very rare. You guys got to remember, I talk to the pros too, right? I'm always in the scene. I feed you the information for free. Whatever you want to do with it, that's your call. Shout out to my community, by the way, who also watches Jay. Love you guys to the bottom of my heart. Like, in all sincerity, I wouldn't have a channel without you guys. Love you.
Yeah. So guys, hey, he made the call. Hopefully you were there on the channel viewing his market watches, and that was a great call because the card going from 3s all the way up to like 20-some 5s, then 30s is crazy. This is the first LOG from Syak. The prismatics are still around 17s actually, and we did talk about that card at around 3s as a change from the 2024 tins. So it's nice to see value just rising like this for people that, you know, save the money. If you need it, you're gonna have to pay a premium. There's a lot of branded hype going on, so definitely one to keep in mind. And then as Saki likes, you know, also verifying the higher end, you have the Syak Starlight Rare Max Rarity. The card was 65s, then it says 80s, and right now it's a $90 card pushing 200 at the bottom of the page. A couple 1-ups, then gone. 6 listings only. So again, Saki talked about both the secret rare and the high end, as he always covers all rarities on the channel. So hopefully, if this is the version, the high end version that you wanted, hopefully you picked it up back then we have branded fusion, Saki. Again, for branded fusion, this is the ultimate rare at $38. You know, it's off the $44 highs, but before that, the card was 20 bones. It was in the teens, and this card only has 4 prints. You have a clean secret here. Now people need multiples, is right under 3s. You have the quarter century secret rares going bonkers, the OTs and the super. So let's just hear it. What do you think about these different rarities? Do you have a preference? And what do you think about, you know, these current prices for the high end versions?
So what I have to say here is I did tell people brand fusion around like $10 to $15 was really good. Even at 20, it wasn't that bad. This card did spike up during banlist hype to around 40s. And now we settled at, like, let's see, that 37. But you gotta remember, people want their 2 copies. So 37 goes up to 40 pretty quickly. Am I surprised at this? Not really at all. You gotta remember that while people will consider the QC the highest rarity, especially because branded is more QC than ulti, that's kind of the one thing. They kind of made a lot of cards ulti with QC / Starlight Rare. And the ultis are max rarity that aren't even max rarity, if that makes sense. And I think that's one of the problems with it. However, when you're looking at $270, which is branded fusion QC versus a $37 ulti, and you need 2 copies, right? It's pretty easy that to see that the ulti is probably going to catch up to the QC. Granted, they could make it a Starlight Rare. That's kind of the one thing. That's why I had more faith telling guys, hey, Lulu, this is the Starlight. They can't reprint it as a Starlight, rather than telling you guys about branded fusion, because you got to kind of be worried about what Konami wants to do or not. But yeah, these brand fusions, if you did get them at around 15-20, or you got them for really cheap, whatever, and you still have them now, you could wait and look at these next few weeks. There is a chance that this could come at like $60. I think it could go higher. Rather than lower. 19 listings does not give me confidence at all. The fact that the secret is going up. Granted, the all hollow version probably has this as something. So players might like that. But
probably
I
as
do love the swirl.
Yeah,
probably. It does? Okay, thank you. It does have the swirl too. Some of these older ultis have swirls, and I love that. That's why I actually really like this ulti. I don't like Alabaz because OTS 19 has terrible print quality. And all that. Aluber is just a funny card. But branded fusion with the swirl and the dragons, oh boy, it looks good in any rarity.
No, that's what I said. I said, especially with the ulti with the spiral, I said this is one of the most beautiful cards I've seen in Yu-Gi-Oh. Like when you have a clean near mint spiraled ultimate rare branded fusion, one of the most beautiful cards. Like the contrast with the yellow, the blue, and the red, and the dragons and everything. Man, I get why people love branded in that sense, because the artwork is always AAA. We have Phantom Revenge. No one's talking about this set. That's why bringing Saki in here, I'm like, we need to talk about this. No one's thinking about December right now. No one's thinking about, next, because there's essentially a new format every set release, because cards come out that usually impact the meta. No one's thinking about Phantom Revenge or, Hecka Hands with illusion support, new hero support. No one's talking about this set. Here boxes are 75 bones. I mean, they just got listed on TCG Player. It is coming out on December 5th. So we actually have, what is that, like around 2 months, give or take, before we actually get this on the shelves. So what do you think about Phantom Revenge? Illusion cards, like hero cards, should people be picking it up? Like, are you looking forward to this? Yeah.
So we finally get the rest of the good Magus stuff.
Okay, Spoon and all that. Okay.
Yep, I do really like that. I believe the Rocket stuff is also here. I could be incorrect.
I think the Rocket stuff is a Burst Protocol. I think so, if I'm not mistaken.
It is Burst Protocol. You're absolutely. Oh, Hecka Hands is the deck building set. My fault.
Yes. With the illusions. Right here is look, illusion fusion base strategy. So a lot of hype around illusion cards. But yeah, Magistus, what do you think about Spoon and the Magistus cards? Crowley still at 15.
Magistus stuff in that set, by the way.
Okay.
I believe we're getting a Burst Protocol. I apologize.
It could be.
Yu-Gi-Oh players can't read what's in front of them. Nothing new.
But still, just what do you think of Spoon whenever it comes out? Like with Draco Tail and Crowley being expensive and all these, a lot of people were asking for the secret rare in Anaheim. A lot of people. Look at this volume candle. Almost 1,000 sales in a 48-hour time frame. Insane. So what do you think about, just in general, about Magistus cards?
I personally think, people are hyped up for it. They have already got it. People I've seen from replays and testing what it could do. I think that Matchless is going to be put on the map, and it's kind of funny because Genesis Impact is a very old set, so that the fact that Matchless is good so much later. Chorozo also on the listings. I always told people, hey, that's going to be a good penny stock because that is a contact fuse, a generic contact fuse. This will be money until we get the secret rare in the tins of next year. So you got it. Good job.
Yeah, look at that. Parabolic, going from 2/4 a pop to all-time highs near threes, essentially. Insane. That this card great artwork. It's a fusion tuner. That's wild, man. That's insane.
Yeah.
I don't think there's many fusion tuners out there like in Yu-Gi-Oh. So
not many that could be contact fused like this.
No, just in general. Like what's think like none come to my brain. A fusion tuner? That's crazy. That's just insane. But yeah.
Yeah, to add very quickly,
the
other thing about Chorozo is you have to remember it is also a White Forest card, and we got all the White Forest reprints. So I told people, if this card, since it's not there, same with the other White Forest cards like Elza and the Field Spell, I recommended all those. So there is another reason that Chorozo is going up, but yes, of course, it's because of the matches and stuff as well. I definitely do not, I definitely see Chorozo having moments in the future and glimpses here and there, just from its way of being able to put itself on the board, and possibly being just like a way to kind of out a monster, depending, but probably not for that effect.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, so great take with regards to the Magista stuff. And again, you know, Illusion's getting support. I know there's going to be probably people hyped also for like, you know, the hero support and things of that nature, if it comes here, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, Phantom Revenge. I feel like people are not focusing on it. And usually, you know, a month, 2 months out is the best time to focus on these strategies so that you can pick up the pieces around it, you know, and get them for cheap before the hype comes in. Then we have Doom of Dimensions. Saki correctly mentioned early in this market watch the fact that boxes were rebounding off the lows. Boxes were at 37.50s. Volume came in, V-shaped recovery back up to $50. There's been controversy around the Yugi-verse. The fact that sealed, you know, is getting destroyed, going down to $40-30 a box, like Allen and Suda before the recent hype, and Duelist Advance and all these core sets. So now that, you know, either Genesis a little bit or with, you know, Marshmallows or things of that sorts, what do you think about these boxes overall, usually crashing down, and this one actually rebounded? You touched based on it very early in the market watch, but now looking at the chart and seeing the strong rebound of these boxes, what do you think, you know, about the controversy, this specific box, and things of that nature?
So for this box specifically, the reason why it is V-shape recovering is because we've been seeing builds of the new Typhoon archetype, you know, the MST archetype, like I like to call it, Radiant.
Yes, we're going to talk about it here.
Yep. We've seen that go up. We've seen Noroi skyrocket. Remember, people were saying K9 was dead this format. Why? They don't know what's going on. Simply as, right? So there was that as well. So this deck, you know, set got a huge boost not only after the ban list but YCS Anaheim. So you know, we started seeing also some more Genesis stuff. We do have some more DDD support on the way, I believe. Correct me if I'm incorrect. So this stuff could, the DDD stuff could go up here. So it recovery by like $10. Absolutely. I'm just happy to see the set actually having more value, because I'm not as upset for $50-ish, and then a new Dominus card being good can also hype it up. I think people were sleeping on this set a little too much, and I was correct.
Yeah, I mean, great points. I mean, like you mentioned, Noroi, V-shape recovered from 16s to 27, so that's an amazing jump, and people looking for play sets. Literally, you have Dominus Spiral here still being a $15 card, 15/16s as a core set secret rare. You have Dogmatica new support, Flirt, man, I'm bad with names. You take over. The Thunderbolt.
Dogmatica Flirtily.
There you go.
Why can I pronounce it? I barely, guys, you know I can't pronounce it.
You just better. This card is 1240s and 13s, and you know, even though it's not doing anything, you know, Dogmatica players are going to want their secret rares, their upgrades. You have Doom Z actually recently announced brand new support, if I'm not mistaken, for the Doom Z archetype. So again, you can see the clear V shape from sub 5s to almost 650s here. So Saki's on it. Saki's saying that the value, you know, as we can see based on the charts, is going up. There's demand coming in for these cards, and not just for advanced format, but you see, even if it's not like heavily represented, you can go on X and see Genesis deck profiles for Doom Z. So, you know, there's gonna be people out there like, oh man, you know what, let me actually pick the cards up, and it creates that demand that was non-existent before. And then you have the DDD one more D cards right here, you know, the ultra rare V shape from 650s all the way to 8s, and now it's still around 6 and some change, $7. So yeah, DDD is a fan favorite deck archetype. And then you can even see Count Surveyor Saki. This card used to be sub 5s, and it went up to 17s, and it's still $14 to $15. So again, if the new support is around the corner, do you think hype like this from Monster Mayhem is worthy? What's your take on this latest hype with DDD?
Say absolutely. Plus, Mayhem really isn't worth opening as a set anymore, unless like your collector wants to hunt stuff and you happen to pull it on your own. Because there are people who are like, I want to pull the cards on my own. It's just like completely fine.
Billy Bob's on. They're like, I want the card. I want to pull it. If not, it doesn't count. It was funny how you said it.
That's how they are. I mean, that's how they are. The set's recovering. You got Rising Scale being something. Oh, recovering a little bit. You got Crowley.
Right here, look at that.
Not actually that bad. Actually, you know what? I may have to rehab my opinion here. Because boxes are $40.
Look at that. 40 bones, Saki. 40 bones. And it has $15 cards. Ether Barrels at 13s. Jirac Volcano here, $3. Emilio went up to 6s. I was surprised. That was like $2. So
yeah, maybe it's because of Necros and Genesis, probably.
Which
I know you're about to ask me my thoughts there, so I'm gonna refrain.
Yeah. Sounds good. Yeah, literally. Let's just go right to it. So we have Yu-Gi-Oh! Genesis. We haven't had Saki actually on the channel ever since Genesis came out. So again, by now we know the rules, we know the points, we know how it works most likely. But I just want to hear Saki's thought on the format, how it impacts Yu-Gi-Oh, and then obviously how it impacts the markets and the prices. So go ahead, Saki.
So for Genesis, this is the way I see it. First of all, we should have already had alternate formats like this. It took too long. Konami did it just because even they couldn't be oblivious to their numbers and how the game is going and the health of it. What I really like about this, about Genesis, is we've had this issue in Yu-Gi-Oh! And I've said this, and it's almost like a catchphrase on my channel. A deck is good, but not good enough, right? And when I say good enough, I mean the deck, even if it's piloted well, can it get a top 32 at a regional? I think that should be allowed for a lot of decks, right? That are coming out nowadays, where they should be good enough where if you have a good pilot, there is potential for a top 32 at regional. Not a YCS, a regional, right? And not even win a regional, just top 32. And some of those decks not only fail to meet that threshold, but they're not even good enough at locals. Like you should be able to take some of the newest decks to locals and at least have fun in some back and forth. If not, that archetype was a waste of time. And we've seen this happen a lot. Genesis solves that problem where good but not good enough becomes good enough for Genesis. And I really, really enjoy that because they're a deck where people want to play them. And they look really cool, but the format just doesn't allow them to play that, right? You don't have to worry about Riseal in this format, right? You don't have to worry about
just Vanquish so, and that's it.
Right? You don't have to. You can play other decks that are a lower level that brings those other decks that are unplayable to Rogue to Tier 2, so on and so forth. And that is what I love about this format because I want to play Medulce with the new support, yes. We're talking about the year-old support. I decided not to because I thought to myself, I'm already annoyed with how the game is for the most part.
Right.
I know the thresholds. Do I want to play my new deck? Get my ass kicked so hard that I start not liking my favorite deck as much.
No. That's what Genesis does for you. Exactly. And I love it. Yeah. How about pricing? What do you think about people that actually, of course, you could play this at your locals, and most people, that's the experience that they're gonna get. But I went to Anaheim. They had the Genesis Invitational, but you had to actually earn your keep. You had to play on Saturday in Genesis pods and be finished first or second to then qualify to the Invitational. The pricing with the Shonen Jump, a Dark End, and the Giant Pot of Greed. A lot of people excited saying that the pricing is much better than, in the past and things of that nature. So, of course, not everyone's going to go to YCSs and the big events, but still, the pricing there, maybe pricing at locals. How do you think pricing may impact this brand new alternative format?
I think it's great. I mean, we've seen before, and if you guys remember this from like a year ago and more, where the pricing for side events were much better than the side events. Remember, you would be getting points and tickets, and you can get stuff that sells. People buy it on the spot, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, right?
Literally, that's true.
And that's not including your entry packs or anything else, because you can get the giant card and do that, and then get like a mat, top 32, another card, some sheets, and people were ecstatic about it. And then Konami nerfed it because they're like, wait, people are all going to just play side events because the main event sucks so much. They're doing this, though, however, again, here for Genesis, for at least a while. I actually think the pricing, they're going to nerf it eventually once Genesis is stable, but they're going to keep it for a while. So definitely a good time to get in.
Yeah. I mean, excellent points. We've already talked about Genesis on the channel. Just something that I wanted to bring up here with Saki. And actually, like Saki did mention earlier, some of these cards that otherwise would suck or no one would play or would be cheap, they've gone up in price. Again, like Radiant Typhoon Crusade. This card was $5. No one cared about it. V-shaped to a new all-time high to 13s at around 1150s. Really, it's a $12 core set secret rare. 53 listings. So yeah, Saki was on it. He mentioned the card earlier. Now we're talking about Genesis format. Is actually a deck that, people have been playing in Genesis format and actually doing well with it. Not just at like the YCS level and things of that nature, but probably people at locals, probably. I mean, at regionals, I haven't gone to regionals and know how Genesis works at the regional level, but regardless, people are playing, cards like these. So great point by Saki, highlighting that this card is going up in price and the whole deck archetype is going up. That just came out in Doom of Dimensions. Plus, I think they're getting new support, aren't they? I think also as well. I think that
they shouldn't be done getting support. Usually Konami gives them gives every archetype for the most part 2 waves, if not more. So
this is the first one. Yeah, exactly. So that's a great point. So there you go. Saki was correct. The card is going up. And then Saki mentioned also earlier art mages. We can see that. Again, Medius is going up, Armades and all that good stuff, but also art mages in Genesis format. Look, volume is coming in for the field spell. It's been $9 to $10 forever. We've been saying as a core set secret rare from Duelist Advance is an easy pickup. You still have like a playset with shipping here, but really the card is 11s and you still have the walls. Yeah. Great point, Saki. Yeah, essentially $12 right here with the walls of China are at, and little by little it goes to 11, then 12s, then you come back tomorrow and it's 13s, and then a week from now it's 15s, and then a week after that is a 20-piece McNuggies for Mickey D. So 51 listings here. You can see the volume coming in. You can see the consolidation. Don't let this spike up to 15 to 20s. Do you see the potential for Art Mage Academic Arcane Arts Acropolis?
Good job, by the way. Say that 5 times. I know you were struggling. You're like, oh man, I'm trying to right. Anyway, but what I gotta say is, speaking of McNuggies, did you guys know that
McNuggies
McMuffin is like $8-something in certain places now?
That's insane. That's crazy. You gotta stop. Inflation is that bad? That's wild.
So, would you guys want Art Mage Academic Arcane Arts Acropolis or an Egg McMuffin?
Priorities. There you go. The potential's there, for inflation to hit this card as well. Basically, Saiki's saying that he agrees this could be 15 to 20. So to do your due diligence and make sure you get exposure if this is a deck that you actually want to play in Genesis. No need to wait around to pay a premium at a later time. And then how the mighty have fallen, Saki. We have had Vanquish Sohali Su actually won the Genesis Invitational, if I'm not mistaken. This card used to be $45 and you wake up today and it's $6, 6 measly buck. Even so, it topped or won the Genesis Invitational. Over 100 listings for a core set ultra rare with 350 copies at 615s. What do you think about this chart? The mighty have fallen this drastic, just crashing, dumping down into oblivion, even winning a Genesis Invitational at a YCS. Let's hear your thoughts.
If with that wall and getting a first place at Genesis, if it's $6 like that, it's not gonna really go up. It's cooked. PS is cooked. Secondary market wise, GG.
Yeah, I love it. The man just kept it simple. He used the chart to his advantage, and he's noticing that there's just no life left for this card. We'll see down the line how it pans out, but yeah, man, it's crazy how some of these prices just crash down into oblivion. And then again, you have Dragon Rulers. Some people are like, oh, like Saki said, he wants to play Madolche. I love my Dragon Rulers. Can it make a comeback maybe in Genesis format? And as you can see here, card was $3, $10 a playset. Boom, spiking up to 985s. Spectral Dragon Ruler of Flickers, almost a $10 ultra, a card that was considered trash. No one cared. It came in Alliance Inside, a set that the boxes are $30. So what do you think about cards spiking up like this?
I think it's pretty good. Alliance Insight was definitely one of the worst performing sets we've had in a while. Not even just in the year, but for a while.
Look at that. Box is still at 30, Saki. Crazy.
It's not worth it. I told people that the only thing you really want to keep an eye out on for this set in the last like couple months, obviously I talked about songs, but I talked about Witch of the White Forest at $1 because when we got, you know, the LZ and all the White Forest reprints, I'm like, well, let's see what's not reprinted. We've got LZ from Suda, and then we've got this. Now they're $5. If you got them at $1, I told people, call it at $4 to $5. Then you also have Mitsurugi Super. We've seen Bistils be 15. Could Ahmed go up to 10, 15? I don't think so, but it could climb to maybe $5, 6 or 7. And then a lot of people are talking about the Shining Sark archetype. Remember, it's all reprinted and cheap besides Dark Magician Girl. I even said that, I'm like, guys, it'll probably stick around 10 to 12 until we get all of the rest of it reprint, and then it'll go up higher. And then it did. But Chasmo was definitely a surprise. But then again, we did not know about Justice format at the time. So it is good to see that here. There is a little bit of value. Even the QC Spectral's about 80 buckaroos.
Yeah, wow. Look at that. Look at that. From 37. Look at that, Saki. Look, ooh, V-Shaper. It was 27. My bad. Cleaned out. There's 2 at 80s, then 95s, then 100s, triple digis, and 150s gone. So the hype is real. People coming in for some of these Alliance Insight cards. And like Saki said, I mean, look, even Regenesis Archfiend, even a card like this, it was like $3. No one cared about it the other day. Volume came in, $6 already. Going towards 8s at the bottom of the page. So again, people forgot about Allen, the fact that these cards aren't getting reprinted anytime soon. Some of these not until next year around this time. So it's crazy. Great points, great pickups, great suggestions by Saki. And I even saw Deckless in Genesis format playing Shining Sarcophagus deck. So again, this format, man, a lot of hype, a lot of cards and deck cores that
sealed.
Yeah, literally.
This is going to help future Sealed with how they're performing here. Because archetypes like this, if we had Genesis, right, come out, say, during Alliance Insight, we wouldn't have had the drop-offs we did.
Literally.
We never would have.
Literally. And we'll see with Phantom's Revenge and eventually Burst Protocol, you know, if Genesis format impacts those core set releases. So that'll be interesting to analyze that. So yeah, that's done for our analysis about Genesis format. Then we move on to the tins, Saki. The tins having, you know, all these broken meta relevant cards. The Prismatic Secret Rares have terrible pull rates, but you do have the Starlights like Imperms at around $50 for a playset. Little Knights just $11. Pot of Greeds, iconic classic Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Feedsmith package and a couple other cards that we're going to talk about today. But before getting into actual cards here, what do you think about the tins, man? Like the sealed versus singles and some of these, you know, beautiful cards here. Starlight Rares, a lot of people picking up Harpy's Feather Duster, Raigekis at Anaheim, Shiny Sarcophagus getting reprinted, the Prima Engine, just so much in here. We want to hear your thoughts, Saki.
This set's going to age very well because you got to remember, stuff like Imperm in like 3 years is probably going to be like 40.
Literally.
Right? That's like the thing. I really see like people are gonna look at me like, why, Saki, you're talking like this like it's a 401k. I really want to see, like, let's say you got Imperms, like you put $1,000 into this. What's it gonna look like in 3 years?
$3 grand, $1 grand per year.
Yeah, like you don't know. You really don't, because a lot of players, like, they'll spend $15 on an Imperm like that.
Literally.
They'll spend $4 on that. The Pot of Greed, remember, that's a Genesis card. If it gets more popular, $8, it's a collector card. I told people to get this at $4. It was free money if you did. Good job. And now they're about $8. I think going up to $9. I think that this is a card that could soar. Yeah, I really do.
Yeah, I mean, great points, not just on Pot of Greed and the nostalgia factor, but also a meta-relevant staple like Imperm. You know, you also have Little Knight at $11. I think this is too cheap. We could see a 15 to 20s in a heartbeat. And then you do have actual reprints like Fire King Courtier Okanix, which is going up, Saki. The card was like $2 and then spiking up, it says to 7s, man. $7, and then right now it's around $5 here. You see the Walls of China. So what do you think that even some of these ultra rares are making these major jumps for cards that people thought would be trash, ultra rares, they don't care about it? Some people were saying is because of Jirak. Fire Kings, as you can see, Astero from a Monster Mayhem here. Card was 18 cents, Saki. 18
one right here.
Hey, yeah, let's see it. We need to see it. Look at that, boys. 18 cents going up, parabolic. It says to 5 bones right here. Beautiful. Look at that. Look at that. What do you think, Saki? You have a $5 card that was free 99. What do you think about this card and Fire King Courtier Okanix?
Well, I have a lot of those direct cards in bulk, so I'm not too shocked. But yeah, Fire King Okanix here. Am I shocked? No, the set is so short print that a place of this is hard to come by. Not really too surprised at all.
All right. And then you're happy with the bulk, I would suppose, because now, you know, dinner's on Saki, guys. If you see him at Pittsburgh, dinner's on Saki. He's just going to get rid of a couple of asteros and take us to eat calzones at your local Italian place over there in Pittsburgh, guys. Just like we did in Indy, man. Good times. Good times. And then we have YCS Anaheim. Again, we made reference towards the beginning of the Market Watch about this, the latest and greatest big event. Obviously, we had YCS Peru and Lille before Anaheim, but this is an event that I went to. It was amazing. 1,636 players. We see here top cut, top 32, essentially 15 yummy decks. You had 4 pure Mitsus, and many of these yummy decks were yummy Mitsus. Then you have 5 Draco Tails here in the top 32 as well. So just overall, even Vanquish Soul still making it to the top 16. So what do you think about the format? Because usually these YCS events, they're format defining. A lot of people copy these decks. They take them to regionals. They take them to their locals. So what do you think about this format defining event, the decks that top overall, before we actually dig into some of these deck profiles? Just overall, what do you think about the event?
I gotta say, seeing White Forest at top 32 always brings a smile on my face.
Right there.
We see Memento always doing what it does. Memento just comes through and it just wins an event. Memento's won more events than people actually realize. And when I say win, I don't mean top. I mean first place. So I feel like Memento is something we're going to see in the top 32 for a while. It's always going to be a pretty good pick.
Malice still here. What do you think about Malice still?
A lot of people, I mean, the hits weren't bad. As long as we have White Binder, we're okay. It's there. I'm not too shocked at all. None of this really surprises me, besides the lack of, a little bit of lack of, not just, mostly just K9. I expected K9 a little more. Same with the bit more Riseal, actually. But overall, I'm not really too shocked. I think maybe I expected Yummy to do well, but I didn't expect it to basically be half the top 32. That is a lot. That is a lot. I can't say I'm super shocked. It's nothing really out of the ordinary besides maybe the White Forest 32, believe it or not.
There we go. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, great insight. And again, we have the champ. Shout out to Kamal Crooks Valdez, taking his 6th championship at the YCS level, playing K9 Chris Strong, guys. A deck here that, you know, he went solo rampant there through the top 32. He was the only K9 Chris Strong player. And yeah, I mean, you know, when you look at a deck profile like this, playing Sign Frames, triple Dark Rulers, triple Barriers, triple Droplets in the main, you know, all the hand traps, Drolls here in the main deck, and then the Artifact play. I want to hear your thoughts about, you know, Artifact Dagda here post YCS going from $4 or $5 to 17s. Right. A lot of people are complaining.
Wow,
Saki,
I told people get this at $1. That's crazy.
Look at that. Literally, yeah. Look at that. You're rich, Saki. Look, hey, Saki comes on the chat.
I said, it looks like you guys made some money because you gotta be realistic with these dollar cards.
Look at that. But what do you think about the reasoning behind it? A lot of people complaining they don't like turn skip cards in Yu-Gi-Oh. We want to hear your thoughts.
Artifacts are one of the biggest mistakes in the fucking game at this point. I can confidently tell you guys that, because you guys have to like really look at the history of artifacts on how degenerate this archetype was. And is that, you know, we got them in half format. It was the tier 0, but it was the best deck in the room by far. And then throughout the years, we kept seeing stuff like Scythe and other locks. And it's been 11 years, and we're still seeing artifacts having these locks, right? Obviously, Scythe is banned. I get that. But you got to remember, they let Scythe up and down roam free for like 3 years, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Scythe hasn't been good in 4 months. That means it's not a problem. And then that becomes a problem again. People want banned, and then it's not. And they're like, well, we don't have to worry about it because it's not being played. You know, short-minded. Right? They're like a baby where they don't know thoughts and they can't sort of things exist out of their mind. It's not no, they're literally babies mentally, right? Where if like for the baby, when your mother leaves, right? They think the mother like dematerialized. This is actually a fact, right? So that's why they like, cry. They don't understand about the mother coming back or not. If they can't see it, it does not exist, essentially, right?
Yeah.
That's the same thing with artifacts, right? or any problematic cards, like when you see a Yu-Gi-Oh player who does this, realize that they're not going to make it far in life, not just the game. Where you're like, oh, this thing that was a problem went away just because of whatever reason. The chance of it coming back, well, I don't have to worry about that because it's not right in front of me. Therefore, not a problem, right? So when it comes back, they're like, wait, guys, this is all of a sudden a problem again. And they act like their previous statements were still correct of, oh, it can't be a problem because I can't see it, right? I don't know. I know I went a little too far with my analogy, but I have this little allergy to stupid people. If you guys not know, I developed
babies, the baby analogy. So yeah, that's what Saki thinks, guys. Turn skipping in Yu-Gi-Oh should be banned, shouldn't be allowed. We should be allowed to play the game. So great take when it comes to K9 Christian. Then we have Onomat Riseal getting a top 4 at YCS Anaheim. Again, the only Riseal player that pushed through into the top 4. I mean, it was pretty impressive, I won't lie. Actually beat the current champ Triff, but then lost. That was in top 8, and then but lost in top 4. So yeah, I mean, what do you think about? I see triple super polys, retaliating season the side, dark rulers again. Then you have the traps here, and you know, anything that piques your interest from Onomat Riseal top 4ing at YCS Anaheim.
I'm not really too surprised at all. You guys have to remember that the game is going so fast that even though Riseal, like look at how many Riseal cards we have. We have X limited. We've got the other mains at 2, right? So that's 5 copies, and then we have just a single star and a node, right? That's the 7 cards. That's good enough because they do so much that as long as you could see them, you could see them, and there's other ways to see them. I think seeing the Omomat stuff here is really, really cool, just because I really like stuff like Goblinsburg and the others, and the other cards called like Omo something. I just really like those cards a lot, so I'm not really too shocked at this at all.
So yeah, so what do you think about cards? We mentioned turn skipping with Dagda and the artifacts, and here this deck, same thing. The ham ripping with Ouroboros and the arch nemesis Protos, cards that were banned, got unbanned, and people wanted to be banned again, things of that nature. So what do you think again? Like, we're back to the same conversation. Turn skips. We already had your analogy with the babies and you know, the artifacts. So how about Protos? A broken card like Protos, yes, it's not generic.
I'm gonna relate this to
yeah.
what I said about babies, actually. So with Protos, we all understand that this card should have stayed banned, as well as it should still be banned now.
Yes.
This relating to the scenario, imagine if this isn't a problem next format. People are going to be like, yeah, this card's not ban worthy because, oh, it's just not seeing play, even though it could see play in the format before. This is just a random, just another addition to that example. But yeah, Protos, I think this should be banned. It's just should be at 1, just very degenerate. No, Protos locking. We were done with it last format, and it's actually hurting this format that a lot of people really like. People are going back and forth. Some people love this format, some people hate it, sure. But I definitely think without Protos, everyone would agree it'd be a lot healthier.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
that's all I gotta say.
No, I was gonna say it's not that generic though. We get it, but if you're facing it, it's too broken. And then you have Ouroboros again going for the hand ripping in Yu-Gi-Oh. Cards like these have been banned before, and again, we just had the ban list, you know. So a lot of people calling for e-ban list, you know, hitting Ouroboros, hitting Protos, hitting, you know, the artifact mini engine there. So again, turn skips, just hand ripping, just broken FTKs and things of that nature, you know, where you just don't get to play. You know, I don't think that should be the case, but again, it is what it is. And, you know, top 4, it's legal, so you can't blame the player, honestly. And then 7 Tachyon, card, it was $18, went up to 33s. The deck placed 3 of them, and right now is $100 for a playset of this card. So very interesting to see the demand trickle down probably to the regional and the local level. So there you go. Then you have Mitsu Booty.
For a lot cheaper, by the way.
What was that?
CR 7 Tachyon was actually cheaper than what the secrets were right now.
Yeah, they were like in the 20s, and they went like to $80. Crazy spikes.
I always tell
that card. Here you go. You see? And then you do have pure Mitsu Booty right here. Actually getting to the top 4 as well at YCS Anaheim, you know. So you obviously have the Mitsu package, but combining it here, just skipping through top 8. Shout out to Triff. Again, making the top cut with Mitsu Booty Yummy here in the Nouvelles. So again, what do you think about Mitsu cards? What do you think about Yummies? What do you think about Yummy Mitsu? What do you think about this particular deck with Nouvelles? Let's just hear your thought process with regards to these engines before we actually get to some card prices.
I actually think this build is very interesting. One card I actually really want to note is Chalice. We've seen that with Droplet and the interaction where you can activate Chalice, and then whatever they want to do after that, you could chain Droplet to send the Chalice. I actually really like that. Yeah, it's such a good card to pick up. What are QC's look? Ooh, bought out. Look at that. We're finding buyouts.
Right there, 12 bucks, going to 16s, card is 27s, then his 70 bones at the bottom of the page. But look, even the platinum secret rare, look at this, Saki. Card was like shekels. Look at this, $4. Pushing fives. Crazy. 17 listings. Card was shekels. We talked about it right after the event, and the card literally was still under $1. And look at that, giving people 4 to 5 X's. There you go, man. You gotta listen to Saki. You gotta listen to your boy. You gotta listen to us, because we're here to make you that free cash, that free 99, free money, guys, as you can see. But yeah, overall, what do you think about the deck, the performance, winning Peru, top 8ing YCS Anaheim with 1,500 plus players? What do you think about the deck, the innovation? Do you like it? Things of that nature.
I think it's pretty amazing. Honestly, the other only notable thing that I have to say is I definitely see the missing Widow Anchor. I actually understand why in 60 he would cut it. However, the replacement of Shark Cannon is definitely very interesting because it is essentially a searchable reborn if you have it. And with 60 cards, depending on how the game is looking, your engage could actually give you a draw with this build. Whereas with Yummy, we kind of, if you're playing the normal builds that are like 40, 42, whatever, you kind of realize that your engage is just for starter. You're not even thinking about the draw being applicable. While in this build, you actually could see the draw being applicable, especially if you're doing something like Thrust, and then into talents to draw 2, and then you draw engage. Well, that's just 2 spells in your grave right there. The Shark Can again is also an interrupt, which I do like, because you can reborn the card they're trying to bring back or do whatever with, essentially removing their access from it. I think that is brilliant, and I fully understand the Widow Anchor cut. I actually really want to ask him how he liked the Shark Cannon. I really definitely find that very interesting. As for the rest of this, I mean, it's pretty interesting, pretty good. A lot of people are also seeing how splashable Mitsurugi is. There's actually voiceless Mitsurugi build that I've decided I kind of want to play.
Interesting. Interesting.
Very, very interesting. But yeah, I like the build. I don't really have anything else to say.
All right. Yeah, look, you even have triple diviners. You have in the main, then you have triple Raigekis with dark holes. So that's pretty interesting. The barriers are here with the lightning storm. So very, very interesting, you know, deck right here, top 8ing at the event. And then when it comes to actually Yummy cards, what do you think about a $30 Snatchy? What do you think about this card? Was 8 bones, and it's my bad, Saki. Is under 3s, sub 3s. I mean, the main walls are at 3 bones exactly. What do you think about this deck being so cheap? A lot of people are like worried because that means sealed is not holding value, while others are super happy that their meta relevant decks are affordable. So let's hear it. Let's hear it.
So honestly, I have to say this is the result of deck building sets actually doing their job. And this is what I really like, is that you buy this sealed and you get to play every deck in it, and you get to have some leftovers. When that happens, these prices will eventually fall. And you know what? I kind of like that a lot. You know, deck building sets it kind of defeats the purpose of deck building sets when you can't build a deck. Now, if you maybe got close, you missed one copy of something, sure. But I actually overall really like this. It also means that because it's so cheap, if these cards do get hit, you get your mileage. You don't really lose much at all. Like, if we saw a Snatchy limit here, I mean, what? This card goes to like $1. You lost like $5-6.
Yeah.
You got to play meta for months.
Yeah. That's a great point. That's a great take when it comes to Yummy Snatchy. And then the counterpart engine, Mitsu Booty Ritual here, actually spiked up. The card was 1050s, post balance went to 30s, and now it's actually 37 50s. Yes.
I told people during the last list, guys, it might be good. Mitsurugi definitely is. Now, granted, we're seeing it everywhere here where it's exploding onto the scene. I said Mitsurugi's too new. The OCG did not have it at that point. And that deck, while being strong, was it strong enough for a hit this early on? I knew the answer was no. So I told people this is cheap, get it at $10. If you listen, good job, you made some money. Remember, this card was actually closer to 40. Mitsurugi's going absolutely crazy.
Yeah, I mean, well said. As we can see, there's a couple there around the low to mid 30s, but then it does starts heading up towards the higher mid 30s to 40s. So yeah, I mean, the hype is here. People playing the engine, not just with Yummy, but with many different decks. Yeah, post banless, the deck just got better. The engine just got better, and you can even see it trickle down into Amy here. This is Murakumo. Card was around $3 and now it says 8s, but really we're at $10. Quickly goes to 12s and then 13s at the bottom of the page, so 20 listings only. So yeah, I mean, like Saki just said, these mid-2 cards are making moves, making plays all over the place, taking over the markets as people want to compete, and the competitive season is ramping up. So Saki is on point with this one once again. So yeah, on that note, we just picked Saki's brain for a whole hour, guys. So you want to make sure to click that first link in the description down below. You want to make sure you subscribe right now. There's no excuse. The man was just preaching. In today's Market Watch, he does more of the same here in his own channel. So you want to go subscribe right now. And then any last words before we get out of here, Saki?
I know I'm gonna get a comment down here that goes, "How dare you" on that baby example, right? I just know we're gonna see it. But with that being said, thank you guys for watching to the end of the video. Thank you, Jay, for having me on your channel, guys.
Of course.
I should have a Market Watch tomorrow, which is on Saturday at 10 in the morning. So if you're watching this and you want my Market Watch, which the next one might be a bit of the same of this one, but even that, I still have like 15-20 cards that are different from today's.
Yes.
Come check me out. Love you guys a lot. Thank you for those who are sub to me and those who have given me a chance, because I know some people, they're a little reluctant to give me a chance at times.
Come on now. Give them a chance, boys.
And they're happy. And I want to say thank you to those who have. I appreciate all the love. And yeah, that's all I gotta say. Oh, one more thing, actually.
Yeah.
I do have channel member videos as well. I actually am going over Rarity 2 soon for channel members.
Interesting.
So
Interesting.
if you guys want a full video dedicated to that, you can see it right there, going over every QCR Rarity and Rarity Collection 1. And I kind of judge that. So come check it out. It's fast information as well. So if you guys like, say, a lot of cards covered in a short amount of time, this channel is for you.
Yeah.
With that being said, that's all I gotta say. Thank you for having me on, my man.
Of course, no way. Thank you for hopping on the channel. These collaborations are always super fun. Just the insight that you provide, just checking, going through all the different rarities, the questions that you answer, and the way that you deliver the content is always amazing, guys. So make sure you go subscribe. You don't want to miss out Saki's next Market Watch. And on your way out, make sure you subscribe to the channel, to my channel, Fresh Off the Press. Make sure you ring the bell, like the video on the way out, and make sure you share this in one place with a group chat with some friends. It really does go a long way. On that note, let's get out of here, Saki. Guys, thank you so much for your time, for your support, for your attention. Stay fresh.